So, welcome everyone. We are starting up session 56 today, and we are fortunate to have everybody at the table, so super excited about that. So, as usual, I'd like to ask if someone could please recap last week's session.
Okay.
Who wants to go? I can go, but is there? I want to give somebody else a chance.
I want to say, was last time the fighting session? It was just fighting, or was that the one before?
Pretty much all fighting last
Okay.
session.
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
Wait, didn't we have a short
Well,
session last
yeah.
week?
No, we had a
No,
short session.
short-
I'm sorry. That was the talking one. I'm sorry. The talking one.
Interrogate. So our merry band tied up Uvok Thrall, and we've revived Ori is now like upright and standing, but she's ready to get some answers out of Umok. So as we begin interrogating, we're asking what's up with the Tabaxi. Like Umok basically says he doesn't really know much about her, but she's into a lot of shady things. And apparently, they've been dealing with her for quite some time, and she's basically a liaison between them and the higher up. So, and I'm like, hey, we need to record this. We need to get I want to get in it from Umok that he's been dealing with one person or another, so that way we can have proof to the government or whatnot that Brody or whoever is behind this. Because right now, as he's talking to us, it's unfolding more and more like it's Brody and the Ministry of Defense. But
Right, every time you say Brody, that is the funniest thing, because I imagine Bodhi just turning into an absolute Chad. Like, yeah, getting the Metaras stones. Please, I'm sorry, continue.
no worries. But anyway, so you pull out your locket and you have your friend on the other side. Basically, she's taking dictation for us as Umok begins to talk. And he states that she's working for the government and she's been working for the Council of Defense. We strike a deal with Umok to get him out of town safely because he's basically, I'm not going to survive. And all of us are like, okay, spill your guts then. Otherwise, we're going to spill them for you. So he's been he tells them that they're systematically taking out tieflings. He doesn't have the paper, but so while we're talking and interrogating, Dave goes into the office and he manages to find a list of names that are similar to some of the tieflings that we've either met or have heard about getting knocked off. So, and he mentions that there has been spying and tampering with sending stones, and they're tying up loose ends. So he mentions that the Tabaxi has a meeting spot that's other than here, because she gets in contact with them. They almost never get in contact with her. He basically finds his men knocked out with a note on it saying, hey, meet me here at this time and place, or I'll meet you here at this time and place.
Respect.
Yeah, mad props to her. But his guys are kind of a bunch of them. I bet he paid for the lowest bidder for them. But anyway, but all his it's all word of mouth. He never gets anything in writing. So we basically have very little proof that we can use. He pays her under the table, and he said that she has a diary or a ledger that she keeps with her all the time. So to keep an eye out for that. There's rumors about one of the other country clubs that and I'd probably need to elaborate more on this later. But as we're talking, Fatima, who's your friend that's taking the dictation for us on the other end, she's like, transformation spells are very rare, because I asked about, because the other Tabaxi we found frozen and just kind of under a sleep spell. It can't be the same one unless she's a twin that doesn't have kids or whatnot. So we're thinking it's maybe a transformation spell. So she's like, it's very rare. It takes time and effort. So at the end, we basically, Fatima hears Bodhi's name. And she's like, oh, wait, him? I gotta go. Peace out, guys. And she hangs up. And we're like, well, that was kind of shady.
It's very sus.
So we're like, screw it. Let's toss him into a box. We'll, put him out for, someone to pick up and send him like to the docks and get him shipped out of town. So in the meantime, we grab some alcohol from the bar. We found a handful of gold or two. We find the partially listed names that I mentioned earlier. And then we're like, okay, we probably should feed the chimera that we got tied up outside the city. She's probably getting pretty hungry. So let's dispose of the bodies. So we chunked them all into a box, and we're going to come back for it tomorrow and just get it out the city so we can feed the chimera and not have to worry about her like either breaking loose or, going after other things. Because we don't want her to starve out there.
Of course, Chimeriana Grande is an integral part of this family.
Yes. And so we decide we need a long rest at Ori's family place. We're going to come back. We're going to find a way to get the food to the chimera. We talked about possibly getting a horse tied to a cart, chunking the cart or the box of bodies onto the cart, and having the horse walk itself out of town and then meeting up with it later, because we don't want to be caught walking a bunch of dead bodies out of town. 2, we need to try and track down the tabaxi and get more information or proof on the Ministry of Defense. We should talk to your brother, Ori, and give him the list of names and either get the tieflings that are on this list out of town that are still alive, or, show additional proof that, Umak had this list and possibly was helping them get knocked off. Because why else would he have that list of names? So, and then after we talk to your brother, I think we're going to head up to the Barbarian clan and see if we can track down that stored. And then after that, we may head down to, depending on what's going on, down to my village. So we're going to be bouncing all over the place.
That was very thorough. Thank you, Megan. After you said everything, I was like, wow, we actually did a lot for a very short session from last time. So that I had forgotten half of it. Thank you. That was great. So another thing we're going to do before we start, we were having this conversation before we start recording, was Dave's appearance, because he is half orc, he's half orc first off, but he's also a barbarian, so he's got a bear totem, but he also has eagle like, let's call it, features as well too. So if you could, Dave, just kind of describe for us, if someone were to look at you, because everybody else the rest of the heroes are more or less, they're accustomed to you, right? They're already like, we get it. We've seen this transformation. It's very gradual, right? Like weight loss, you don't see it, or weight gain, you just don't see it every day. But for a new person, what would they see if they saw you walking in the street?
So so I've got all the hair, body hair of a bear / half-orc / human, just like somewhat there, but my facial bone structure is sort of that of an eagle. Like the snout, like my bear snout is more like pointed a little bit. My jaw is more like stiff at the bottom. My eyes are more tilted to look outwards, and my eyes are eagle shaped, esque. Not like all the way there, but like it's if there was a gradual slider, I'm like, it would be like a 4-pointed one, because there's orc, human, bear, and eagle, and I'm like somewhere in the middle there. So yeah, but like the snout is pretty well defined, because both the eagle and a bear have like a beak and a snout. So like that part's coming along pretty well, but everything else is just somewhere in the middle.
Will you draw that for us at some point in time?
I'll
Do you,
try my
uh,
best.
the tusk up and down, or
Oh, that's a good
Obviously,
question.
the tusks go with the beak snout.
Yeah, I guess probably.
so you would have upper or lower or both?
I mean, do orcs have tusks necessarily?
They
I
can if
guess
you like. Yeah, they can if you like.
Orcs do. Half orcs can or not, depending on what you feel goes best with your eagle beak.
Yeah, I'll have to. I'm probably up. I imagine just to contrast, like you got like that, and then you know.
I'll be honest. Right now, I'm envisioning a green man bear pig from South Park. Like that. That's
Yeah,
kind of what I'm thinking in my mind right now, but with more eagle features. Right.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's half orc, half human, half bear, half eagle.
Half eagle. That's 4 halves right there.
Two,
That's perfect. So
yeah,
so you
four
are
halves.
2 of every person. 2 of a person.
200% barbarian.
Yep.
200% person, 100% Dave. I like it. And yeah, if you ever come up with a picture, I'll be happy to replace the token with that new picture if you'd like. Okay.
I'll see if I can find anything like that.
Perfect. Okay, and then also one more thing, I do still have up this. I guess we have a chart or so to kind of define who we feel like is an enemy, is an ally, or neutral. If you guys would take just a moment and feel free to talk amongst yourself, who would you want to move, if anybody at all, and just talk about who you think people where they should fall.
Can we like move Akmenos to a respect the dead area?
I'll put him over in this bloody part of the page right there. How about that? Is that okay?
Apropos, but gory. I like it.
Yep.
The tabaxi definitely needs to move over to the enemies. I mean, I don't know if her true form is an actual tabaxi, but we're just referring to her as the tabaxi at this point.
I'm not sure Umak is necessarily a bad dude. He's just kind of. I mean, he's a bad dude. He's not necessarily an enemy.
He's a
He's
dick.
kind of. Yeah, that's it. He's not like a.
Yeah, I don't think he's trying to hurt us, if that's what enemy means.
Excuse
Yeah,
me,
he's-
Domarian. He definitely does not like me.
Okay,
So
fair. We can keep him on.
It's him who hurt us. Sorry.
So should I move him or no? Keep him? What do you guys think? Yes?
I
I
guess
see.
keep him.
Ma, what do you think?
I would put him like right there in between neutral and bad because he's kind of. He's bad, but he's not like. I'm not sure he's working with Bodhi or whatever. He's just kind of doing his thing.
currently he's in a shipping container off to who the fuck knows where.
He's in an irrelevant, for now, category.
I'll have to come up with a token for Bodhi later too, so I will remember to do that. So you guys good with this so far? Or feel good?
I think so. I mean, as far as we can tell, like, we've only gotten information, like, really with Umap. The other people, we still haven't made a determination for. Like, as far as we know, like, Bori's family are all still, like, allies. I mean, the brother's the only one that is going to favor the government over, his job over. So I think he'll just, like, he's still pretty much neutral. But will he become an enemy? Maybe. But, Farah still is solidly, as long as she's possessed, she's an enemy. And then I don't think we have enough information unless, like, what was her name? Gotta go back a little bit. It starts with a B.
You can let me know if you can or not. If you hover over their tokens, can you see their names?
Oh,
I was able to.
Banabara. Yeah. I just forget. We're like Banabara Now, she probably will work with the higher spirit, but is she as cutthroat as Umok? I'm not sure. Anston, as far as we know, is still like on our side. Unless something is going on and he's just gathering information. But we're not taking him to the village or anything, so we can still be cautious about what's going on. The only thing we've told him is we are in the middle of a mess, and Bodhi knows that already.
You guys haven't taken the name Vesuvio for a while. Vesuvivo. Sorry, I should have said Vesuvio. It should be Vesuvio. Any thoughts about him? Vesuvio.
Who is he again?
Yeah.
So
I was about
we didn't-
Go ahead, Sean.
Oh no, I was about to ask as well.
So Vesuvio, we met at the Tiefling Country Club. He was, if I remember right, he was the one who was sitting on us talking to us about Ori's dad and being in league with Umok Thrall. And he was kind of sus. He's definitely a powerful guy. But as far as like he said he was a friend of Akamenos, but whether it's true or not is a different thing. But he is technically in danger, and we probably want to see if his name is on the list, if we can make out part of his name or whatnot, because he could be one of those ones in danger that we may want to get resources from. Because if we can tip him off that he's next in line, he probably will want to leave as soon as possible with what riches he has. But if he's not on the list, it would be surprising. But remember, it's partially burned.
Okay, is everybody good with this? Okay, all right. So let's move it now. So you guys are good with also, so you've had quite a confrontation at the Bagru Finance Group, and you've decided to head back to Ori's house for rest, right? Is that correct?
Yeah,
Okay.
we did that.
So if you haven't already, I think a few of you have, but if you haven't already, go ahead and take a long rest just to restore your characters back to the way they were.
Are we at Ori's house going over our stuff to see what our next steps are?
Yes, that's basically it. Where is... I thought I had that up. Give me a second. Let me open up. Where is the house? Office. Oh, I don't have... Oh, okay, I remember now. We'll just put it cyan again. Okay.
Can we put Fatima up later on?
Yes, her name is Famda, so yes, I can put a name up there as well too. Yes, so I'll put a token for her. So
I'm sorry.
No, you're
good.
You're good.
Names.
You're good. You've made it back to Ori's house. The house is empty. So if you recall, you spoke to Rieta, you spoke to Ori's mom, instructed them to leave, and they are understandably shaken by all the events that are going on right now. So you find the house empty. You've all taken a long rest. And I guess for a moment, just describe kind of what's going through your mind, if you can. Just like what is it that you're thinking right before you go to sleep? Go ahead.
I think I figured out how to defeat the Chimera. So one of us needs to pretend to be a dead body. And then if the horse is found, then we're just one of the dead bodies. But if we get there, then we can explain to the Chimera, like, don't eat the horse, eat the dead bodies. That's...
What I'm hearing is you're volunteering for this, as you are the only who can vibe with monstrosity.
Or also talk. I mean, you might as well tell the horse, hey, be careful.
That as well. I'm hearing you're volunteering yourself. Thank you for that. God bless. Godspeed.
Okay. I guess that's the only way that it's getting fed. So I'll do that.
Well, like technically, like forced to meet you outside the city and the edge of the forest, and then walk with it over. I mean, instead of being
or
dead.
that. Yeah, that or that. That's
But
fair.
what-
And then just stop the horse, and you just tell the horse if someone stops you, don't worry about it.
Don't talk to them because you're a horse.
If somebody's trying to stop you, just keep going. Like,
You're a horse.
yeah. Okay, yeah. I don't know how much time we got, but I guess I'll go do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we're gonna figure out, I guess, where we're going next.
Okay.
Hand us the list of names. Maybe we should talk to Ori about the list of names.
Do I
Lay
have
it on me.
I'll hand you the list of names. I don't think I have it though.
Yeah, you picked it up from the office. It was burnt.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, I give it to you guys.
Okay. Have fun with the corpses.
Right. Well, you are just about to do so. You're getting ready with that. The next day, you wake up refreshed, bright-eyed, ready to take on whatever you decide to do. As you head, all collect once again in the kitchen, getting ready to go. At the dining table sits a figure. It is Leucis, your brother, Ori. He is sitting there, arms crossed, decked out in his military garb, but he is sitting there waiting for all of you, and he just stares you down.
Well, I know that look from our childhood. Someone's got something to say.
Am I here too? Am I back?
No, just consider like you haven't left yet, right? Because this is like the beginning of the day. You started off, you are getting ready. So that's the thought in your mind that like this is how you're gonna. I like that you're still thinking about feeding the chimera. That's great. But before you've left, all of you have left to decide what you want to do. You all enter into the kitchen room, and there's Lucius sitting there, arms crossed, waiting for you. All of you.
Shift along the wall, but I'm gonna keep my front towards Lucius and just kind of keep an eye at any of the openings and just kind of see if I can hear anything going on outside of the room.
Lucius looks over mainly to you, Ori. He kind of eyes each of you one by one, and you kind of see him kind of sneer a little bit, right?
I'm gonna be like, "Sup, Chad?"
He kind of stares a little bit closer at you, Pan, for a moment. He just kind of like, you see him kind of linger for a bit, but he's kind of like studying something about you. But he looks over at you, Ori, first, and he goes, "First off, Ori, what the fuck? Like, what have you been doing? You've just entered into town, and all of a sudden, things are happening. First off, where's Rieta? Where's Mother?"
Like I said, there's gonna be a bunch of assassinations, and you might be on them. I told Mom and Rieta, and they got the fuck out of here, like you should be doing. Idiot.
You can't talk to me this way like we're kids again, okay? I'm in the army. I am an adult now, all right? Mom and Rieta are going to be fine. We've been protecting them this whole time. Why did you kick them out?
I didn't kick them out. I just told them what was happening. You mean, you know what happened with Dad. You have to. And, there's some stuff that's happened recently that I haven't told you about, and it's even worse. So, I don't know why you don't believe me, but you're gonna start seeing in your ranks people turn against you.
He's already a reddish color in his skin, but you see him start to boil even more, right? His skin starts to get more flushed. He's starting to fume. He's starting to steam. And he looks at you and is like, "Well, please enlighten me, Ori, because I don't understand it. Everything was fine. You got here, and all of a sudden, shit starts happening. Now, Apparently my CO has relegated me to desk work. I've no longer allowed to go out with the field officers. They've taken me on my weapons. What the fuck are you doing? Like, what is going on here?
Like, it's not a me thing. It's a tiefling thing, and I'm sorry you're experiencing it for the first time now, but it's what I've been saying. It's not me, it's us. And that's, believe me, this little group has seen some shit, but it's not me. It's the tiefling thing. You're gonna start seeing a lot more of that.
I find it hard to believe that you come into town and I haven't seen you for months, and then all of a sudden now I've heard of these things happening at the Bagru Finance Group and you messing around all over town, and then all of a sudden now I'm relegated to the desk work and looks like I'm being demoted. That doesn't seem like just a coincidence, Ori.
I mean, if they're demoting you for something other than being a tiefling, it is just as worse. It is for a family member's actions, not for your actions. They're not good people to be around. I mean, if you want to do what you've always said, save people, be the hero, do good in this world, come with us. Skip this military bullshit because you're at a desk. Come with us. You'll see exactly what's going on up close and personal, and we could really use you.
Honestly, I find all of this hard to believe. I mean, I've been with the government, I've been working with them this entire time. You come in and you start tossing these tall tales, and I'm just supposed to believe you just like that?
Well, I mean, Dad's dead, so it's pretty
We think,
common.
I chime in. I think we found a list of others that may meet the same fate as your father.
Yeah, look at the list. Too pissed off to read the list right now.
He pulls
And
up.
he provides
Go ahead.
insight the names.
He pulls up the list, he scans it over. And it's like, outside of these just being notable tiefling names, a few of them unfortunately have met their demise, which we are still investigating, by the way, and we are still working hard at. What's the point of this? It's just a list of people.
Can you give us because I'm assuming some of it's burned and some of the names are incomplete. And he filled in with the rest of the names so can we ask him to reach out to them and maybe help them to also get out of town? Because we believe that they are the next people to be assassinated. And if he doesn't want blood on his hands and these other people end up dead, then he is no protector of the city. He is letting people die. He is trying to uphold his image.
He looks again through the list and scans through. Go ahead. Will somebody say something?
No, I just said
No,
sorry.
okay. All right, I thought I heard a little something. Sorry. He looks over the list again, and he's just, he ponders over it. Even if I were to believe you, which I don't, first off, and he looks over Mikage, like, I don't believe any of you at this point right now. This is just a list. This is just a paper full of names. Now, I will take this into consideration. I will talk to my CO, and I will have additional protection designated as needed. But until then, how do I know this list has any validity? How do I know that you don't have anything to do with these people right now? Because right now you've come up to here now in terms of my suspicion of you. Like, why do you have this list?
We were gonna come find you anyway, so that should alleviate some suspicion.
We clawed it out of Umak's hands. And while Umak is very much in for himself, we don't believe he was the one planning the assassinations, but he definitely benefited. So I don't know these people enough to identify them anywhere, so it doesn't make sense that I would have a list. I don't know how many of these people your sister know. So what benefit to us to have them dead?
I was never big on the politics or that kind of shit, so I know little to nothing.
You mentioned Umak. I mean, quite honestly, Umak, he's a thug posturing as a politician, right? So at this point, whatever he does or says, you can't believe anything he says. I mean, we've
He's
already
out
got
of
people
his
monitoring him anyways too and keeping track of him. He is down on the totem pole, very low level. So
While
whatever you
he
dealings with him is meaningless.
while he is a thug, but thugs get involved with knee breaking and assassinations. So the only reason for him to have the list is so that he can either benefit from their loss or take part in causing their loss.
Unless we're playing, 4-dimensional chess or whatever, we're not like we wouldn't show you the list of people we were about to assassinate, right? You know, we're like we got this from Umak, and we're not planning it, and like you just wait and see, it'll happen.
You're right. I don't think you would be smart enough to be playing 4D chess. So I agree with that. He looks over at Dave. It's like, what part do you have in any of this? I mean, you're a big dude. What do you do in dealing with them? Ori's never been one to get into trouble. So, what's your part in this?
I'm along for the ride. Yeah, I don't know. It seems like a whole city's about to be destroyed again, so I'm just here to help, I guess. I'm not ambivalent to that.
We're handling it, okay? The Council of Defense has this handled. I've been given special information that everything is fine, that this is a one-time blip with the whole attack from that crazy Tiefling girl. We've got it under control. Everything will be okay. All right, you guys are stirring up chaos and you're causing people to panic, like Rieta, like Mom. I don't know why you're scaring them off. They should still be here under our protection.
May I make an observation, young Tiefling?
What is it, Dragonborn?
If we were causing it, why would we stop the Tiefling who rained down chaos on your city? We would have joined her. We would have slit the throats of your council. I would have not stopped the imps from tearing them limb from limb. Think wisely about how we are involved. I do not care if you trust this or not. However, I would still be suspicious of your government. If they are saying everything is okay, then they are fools themselves. They are relegating you to a desk job and keeping you blind. I do not care more to discuss if you think we are involved or not. We are involved, but not for the reasons you think.
It does strike me as odd, now that you say it, Dragonborn, that the day you just happen to arrive, that this crazy tiefling comes and rains down terror on our town, on our city. That just happens to be a happy coincidence too, doesn't it? Like, how do I know that you're not involved with her or any of these things?
That's no coincidence. That's
Then
no
why would
coincidence. She chased us here.
bad luck seems to precede us? I will not deny that.
Ori, you're my
Yeah.
sister. I'm trying to believe you, but you're making it really hard right now. There's a lot of things going on, and Ori, I don't know how you're mixed up in any of this craziness, but I'm begging you, just come down off of this cliff.
There's been a lot happening. And I left for a reason. And I did not plan on coming back for a while. And now I'm here. And there's a reason. You know me. I may be a magic user, but I'm not an idiot. Okay? I've seen these things happen. This problem has been chasing us from, quite frankly, very far away. And it's not even the biggest problem that we have. So, you know, we're gonna go spend some time outside of town. And you tell me if things get better or worse, and I'll come find you in a couple days. How's that sound?
That'll probably be best, Ori, honestly, for you guys to leave town. I mean, if anything, I can tell you this now, because this is going to be public information come very soon once the memo hits the news that orders are from the Council of Defense that Valtier will be needing to make new defensive moves to confront the Tieflings at Crimson Rock. That frankly, this craziness that we've been talking about, that I've been trying to convince all these other Tieflings to stop messing with, it's leading to the government just having to have this proactive movement just to try to peacefully encourage them to go somewhere else, because apparently they're causing a lot of trouble here.
In Crimson Rock, what do you mean?
Conduct war on a foreign nation instead of handling their internal shit.
And it is our, ancestral homeland.
You
Buddy
don't,
boy, you and me both.
you don't think I'm not upset about this? I've been telling other Tieflings to chill out and stop with their attacks, stop with their raids. There's one of them who's been going around, what's her name? Zamaya, who's causing all sorts of trouble. That whole incident that happened recently, well, that didn't exactly cause good faith, or within the Council of Defense. Plus this attack from this other crazy demon-possessed Tiefling girl. At this point right now, the government is just working to just protect the nation. And frankly, Crimson Rock is still within Valtier borders. So at this point, they're pushing people out. Now, I'm not happy about this because I've told them from the beginning, everybody just needs to listen to the law, follow the rules. If you follow the rules, then there's nothing to be afraid about. So I don't understand what the problem is.
When rules suppress people, they are no longer the rules of the people. They are rules to subjugate. And that is not something that should be allowed. And that's when chaos will push back. However, you may, while we are out of town, look in on the Tabaxi, because we found her frozen in her home. And we have found that she was probably the last person to witness your father alive. She was involved with what we think is an imposter we found talking with Umok. We tried to catch her, but we were unsuccessful. I am tired of dealing with the child's tantrums on how things should be done. I have no more to say. And Mikage slinks out the room. She's done with Ori's brother.
Pan, what are you doing in all this while everybody's arguing? Or does they
I don't really have any input. I'm just sitting there posted up, waiting for a decision on this internal family conflict. I'm thinking about the Chimera and how I'm going to tag along with Dave. I'm waiting to make eye contact with him, what's going on?
Yeah, what do you think happened to your dad? I mean, he was assassinated. He's a tiefling. Do you think the tieflings did that?
His assassination is still under investigation. I cannot comment on any details of that. While it pains me greatly, Father and I had our disagreements. At the same time, I would not wish anything on him. At this time, I don't know. But then he looks over at Pan and it's like, you said the Tabaxi. That's what it is. Something about you, dude. I don't know. I'm looking at you right now and something about you reminds me of this Tabaxi. Dad's secretary. I don't know what it is, if it's the way you move or the way you talk. Something about y'all just rubs me the wrong way.
Ooh, maybe she's a monk.
Or my sister, but I'm not going to say anything. It's going to be interesting.
At this point, the council is still investigating his death. Okay, this is high up on in terms of priorities. We're trying to figure out who it is and who's done this. However, and I'm gonna tell you, Ori, and all of you really, I've never been very fond of this Tabaxi secretary that he's had, even though I met her several times. If you think she killed her, if you think that she killed Dad, and you've got proof of it, then take her out. It's fine by me.
Wait, why do you hate her so much?
It's not her per se. It's just whoever has done this to Dad. Okay? I haven't had a chance to grieve and figure this thing out yet. I am working with the government. I'm working with the defense. We're trying to figure this out. But the defense already has so many things going on. Whether it's these zealous tieflings, this uprising over in Crimson Rock that we're trying to deal with, plus this fear, plus the crazy demon tiefling. There's a lot on our plate right now. So if you, Ori, if you guys actually believe that she did something, this is off the record, but if you think she did something, then you take care of it, okay, Ori? For Dad.
Well, it's still under investigation, so we'll see.
For what it's worth, we have reason to believe that the Tabaxi is working with the defense, that the Department of Defense assassinated your dad.
That's a tall claim from a tall person. I still find all this hard to believe. Frankly, everything you've said has been difficult to believe. But I don't have any proof that you're doing anything wrong either, so I can't arrest you. So Ori, as your brother, I'm asking you, be careful. If you need to get out of town, do it, whatever it is. But just stay safe.
We're gonna go out of town for a few days, but promise me you'll poke around and you'll look into this stuff so that when I come back to see you, we can talk about stuff more. Promise?
He kind of huffs and puffs, stands up. He walks to the door and then he just kind of looks at you and just nods and then exits out the house.
Oh, and before we leave my house, I'm definitely getting a change of clothes, a good shower. I'm rooting through any checkbooks left around here. We're gonna fill up on supplies. Any fancy charcuterie left in the Domarien fridge, it's coming with us.
I wanted to go bad.
Don't want it to go bad.
You'll find a few of those sausages that have been popularly advertised with Dave's face plastered on the front of them. Right there. So they're in the fridge. He's got a couple of those that you find stored away. Okay. So at this point now, there's an air of frustration in the house, given after Leucis has left. But you guys have a couple decisions to make. Like, what do you guys want to do next? You've got potentially investigate the Tabaxi, go feed the Chimera, go to Dave's village, or stick around, or whatever. I don't know. What do you guys want to do?
We should probably do Chimera and Dave's village, right? And then come back, investigate the Tabaxi a little, and then go to Mikage's village, Dave's clan, Mikage's village, which will span, a hot minute. This is not going to be a one session thing. But I think we should, feed Chimeriana and go see what the clan has to offer for us.
That works for me. We're getting kicked out anyways, so.
We're not getting kicked out. We would not leave if we were not already going to leave. Because Lucius and I are too close, and I'm not gonna let him tell me what to do.
Oh, we forgot to ask how many days before they make the announcement. He said a few, so I'm guessing 4 or 5.
Two's a couple, three's a few. I say 3 days is probably the earliest.
We could just be like, "Hey, come back, Chad."
Out the door. Mikage's not touching him with a 10-foot pole. She's like, fuck this. Mikage's frustrated, and she's got her scales all like fluffed out.
So what do you want to do? Did you want to ask him? Because I mean, he's
Yeah,
just left.
I'll ask him. Hey, Chad.
He turns around and looks at you. Oh,
After
dude,
him.
my name is Lucius. Okay, stop calling me Chad.
Hey, when's this announcement gonna be made?
Word is the announcement's going to come out in about 2 days or so, but it's going to take some time for the forces to marshal and start heading over to Crimson Rock. So you've probably got about, I don't know, about 2 weeks or so. But that's more than enough time for y'all to get out. So
All right. Well, we'll see you in less than 2 weeks. Later, bro.
later, dude. And he kind of storms off. You see him kind of in a little hissy fit, just kind of walks away.
Hilarious. Love it.
I give Pan a high five when he comes back. Because I could see from the distance that Lucius just walked away even madder. Wait.
Okay.
Yeah, and I tell them whatever that I heard.
Okay. So at this point now, yeah, you've got kind of decisions you want to make. So you said you probably want to go feed the Chimera first, right? And then go and deal with Dave's clan, and then afterwards Mikage's village. So I guess I'll let y'all continue the conversation. Like, what do you guys want to do? How do you want to go about feeding the Chimera?
All right, Dave, tell us that option again.
So we're gonna be, we're gonna tell the horse to go out of the city, and we're gonna go meet the horse outside the city.
So Mikage kind of wants to go grab just a box of like miscellaneous butcher's meat, because like they have scraps and things like that. So that way, if Chimera doesn't like the bodies, he at least has a little like miscellaneous butcher meat. And I feel less conspicuous carrying a thing of butcher meat.
We could give her both. I'll flame grill them, just how she likes it.
What Mikage is just like, fine, you can grill it all you want. I'll just give the Chimera food. That's all I care about. Something I don't brought to jail carrying around.
Chimeras are like on the evil side of the alignment chart, right?
That is correct.
We're hoping
They are chaotic. They are chaotic evil. I love that.
Are they-
Okay.
This
So,
one is more chaotic neutral, which is very vibing. Just vibes with Ori. Ori's not chaotic neutral, but she likes a good chaotic neutral.
Are they considered monstrosities, or what are they considered?
They are
Monstrosities.
considered monstrosities. Yes.
Because Dave has talk with animals, but we've agreed that since a chimera is a monstrosity, he can only vibe with monstrosities.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Not word-to-word connection.
So just so y'all know, I do have one of my features is favored enemy, and I do have monstrosities selected as one of them. So that basically means that I've chosen favored enemies, and I have advantages on wisdom and survival checks for these favored enemies. So that means like recalling information and things like that. Anyway, so just FYI.
So
So
if
if I
find
need-
a small butcher shop that has some scraps of meat or so, they're willing to give you a big box or so for about 10 gold pieces. So if you could subtract that from your account, but more or less you have a large barrel full of like just scrap meat that's in there available for you now to do what you will.
Oh, that out. Yay.
So now you've got a barrel of meat, You potentially have some dead bodies that you can work with, and you've got a couple horses. One who has IBS as well too. What would you like to do?
We'll take one of the. I'll like go to the confident horse, my horse, and just feel like you need confidence for this, and just tell him, what the deal is.
Is he the narcissist?
Yeah, he's a little narcissistic.
He's a narcissistic one.
But we know you can do this, because guess what? You're the best. He's like, I know.
Play to that. Oh.
Play to that.
Let me get the names. I'm trying to remember which one is that, because I don't remember which one is which.
You can't remember their
Larry is the narcissist, Fred is the one with high anxiety, and Gary is the one with IBS. But he can shit on command. So there's the three. Larry, narcissist, Fred, high anxiety. I'll post this in the thing. How about that? So this way people can see.
Larry's the narcissist, yeah. Fred's nervous, and Gary has IBS.
Because that's important. You guys need to know that for future reference. All right.
Yes, absolutely.
There we go.
Thank you.
I didn't format the way I like, but you get the idea. So, okay, Dave, I guess describe what you're doing. You're going to talk to Larry.
Yeah, I go up to Larry, and just start neighing at him. Try to. Neigh.
What was that?
A neigh. A neigh.
What? Well, sorry, I couldn't hear that.
A neigh. It's like
I don't. What do you?
A whinny, a neigh.
Oh, that one. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dave. I didn't know that until now. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I also did not know that. Thank you for clarifying. Larry looks up and is like, "Oh, you're speaking my dialect. I got you now. Hey."
Yeah. Hey, buddy. We're gonna go. You're just gonna take these bodies and meet us on the outskirts of town. We're not gonna come with you. Don't worry what's in the cart. Just, you got this. We believe in you. You're the best. We're choosing you because you're the best of the horses. So don't let us down.
You see him paw the ground, or like stomp on the ground a bit, and he's like, "Well, wait a minute. You said dead bodies? Is that right? Did you say they're gonna be transporting dead bodies here? What?"
No.
No. Did I say dead bodies? I meant
Them hotties.
them hotties. Yeah, them hotties. That's what I call.
Sausages.
Yeah, that's what I call sausages. You're a vegetarian. You probably can't smell them. Don't worry about it. Yeah. So transporting them hotties out of town. Yeah, we'll meet you there. We got other things to do, but we'll meet you there.
You see him again, just kind of shake his his head, and he's like, "This sounds like something Fred should be anxious about, right? Maybe we should talk to him. But you know what? You did say I was a man, so I can do this. I got this. I can do it. I got it."
Yeah, you got it, bud.
He looks over at Gary, and Gary's just like, just going, and is like, "Damn it, Gary, get your shit together. We got this. Come on, I got this, man. Like that's why I'm the good one. Okay."
Get your shit together, Gary. Quite literally.
I'm just gonna pet Larry and just be like, okay. I'm just petting Larry. I'm working my animal handling magic on him and trying to keep him from being too nervous.
Or is just kind of braiding a tiny bit of Gary's mane while this happens.
Gary is calming down a bit. The rate at which he is going, his rate at which he's shitting, is slowing down, thanks to your braiding, by the way, too. Mm-hmm. And Fred on the side is kind of looking very anxiously, looking at the content, and he's like, "This is a bad idea. This is a bad idea. This is a bad idea. This is a bad idea."
No, you're not in. You can just relax. I'm just petting the horse, just saying, it's not your problem.
He is still high anxiety. He is still trying to work it out. But Larry, however, confident as he is, kind of steps up, like looks in the mirror, and he's like, I got this, guys. I got this. We're going. So he starts. So I guess describe what you're doing. How do you have it set up for him to do?
So so the way it probably should be is he's carrying a small cart, just enough to fit the one crate, and he has a simple harness on, and even though he has connected his bridle to the cart or his harness, it allows him enough free movement so he can turn and pull it. We have taped a note on the cart saying, please do not disturb horse. Horse is, following assigned route.
And again, this horse is going by himself, right? Through the city.
Yeah.
With dead bodies on it, right? You get it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And just another sign saying, "Don't worry about what's in the cart."
This is not at all conspicuous, at all.
It's like
Give the horse,
It's like
knows where.
completely foolproof, all right? I think
when
you
we
guys
were walking around with the organs.
like nobody's walking with this horse, like at all, right? You guys are just letting the horse go on its own. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Fair
There's
enough.
just posted around, like, horse knows where he's going, leave him alone.
Like the article.
Like they are, exactly. Okay.
Like
Dave, for this one, because this is your brilliant plan, I would like for you to roll stealth for the horse, please.
You would like me to what?
Roll stealth. Roll stealth for the horse.
Got it. Okay.
So let's see how this goes.
I can't wait to take advantage of this shit on command thing.
You got a 10.
I'm going to use my lucky.
Okay, go ahead.
I mean, it doesn't really matter if he gets caught. I want the horse actually.
We can make him shit on command as a distraction.
No, that's
scary.
scary that
That's the other
Oh
one.
yeah, that's scary.
We sent Larry the narcissist.
Maybe it's.
just
Oh,
tell.
Larry. Okay.
We have Gary, Larry, and Fred.
Okay, so okay, let me make sure I'm clear though. You sent him off on his own. He's carting, some dead bodies with him, right? He's by himself, and you plan to meet him on the outside or on the outskirts of town. Is that right?
I'm assuming Dave told him where, the horse should know a general idea of the city. He should know, get out into this general area.
Yeah, I told him a specific location, not just like the broad outskirts of town.
Okay.
Exit through this gate.
Yeah, near enough to the Chimera that we can meet him, but not near enough that he will get eaten.
Okay. All right. Let's see.
Yeah.
Okay. So at this point, then, okay, you make it.
Actually, what we could do is
We're already deep in this. We are already deep in this. We can only change the plan so much.
Yeah, no, it's a small tweak. I'm going to put the reins inside the cart. I imagine it's like a cart that people ride in. So
it's probably just one where you have a driver in the front, but they probably have an area to tie the reins. Because if they're riding alone on this little cart, because this is like a 2-wheel cart, not like a 4-wheel big cart.
yeah,
So-
but it's not like an open. It's like we've covered the dead bodies. It's not like displayed.
No, right. They're in a crate and hidden.
Okay, they're in a crate. Okay, but there's no cover on the.
Want a tarp cover over it?
Yeah, like an old timey, pilgrim.
With the Wells Fargo wagon.
Not the big. You probably just a cloth burlap cover. At least that's the size cart that I'm thinking. I don't think Ori's family has a fancy like a carriage. that we're going to be using. This is just kind of like a simple cart. Like, let
We're
me.
not using the summer carriage.
Yeah.
Okay. So okay.
Never mind.
So you guys are all now waiting outside of town for Larry to arrive. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
You're waiting outside, and quite a bit of time has gone by now. Probably a little bit longer than what you expect for the length of him to make it there. Okay. You start to see sunset. Dusk is approaching, and on the on the horizon, you see the one lone horse approaching slowly, and he's got his wagon, and he's approaching you, and he finally arrives, and he looks into this. Sorry, I'm late. Got pulled over by the cops.
What did you say? You're a horse.
I don't know. They just stopped me. I mean, I'm following the path, just like you instructed me to do, just doing my thing, clip clopping along, and then these guards stop me. They read the note. I don't know what it says, but they read it. At least they looked at it, and then they looked at the barrels, and then afterwards, then it looks like there's a piece of paper here written for you. They left another piece of note, and I don't know if they took the barrels or not, because I can't look behind me.
Well, I got my barrel of meat, so I'm not too worried.
Yeah.
Dave, what does the note say?
I read the note.
You pick
Wait.
up, You pick up the note. It is a citation, basically. You have a fine now for basically, what you call it, unaccompanied horse, right?
Okay.
Okay.
So there's a fine now for 100 gold pieces to be paid out to the government, and there's a little date in terms of like when you need to arrive in court as well too. Here's your citation number, those sort of things. It's like a very, it's a yellow sheet of paper, right? However, you look in the back of the cart, the contents are gone. They've been confiscated as well.
Oh,
no.
so they only cited us for not accompanying the horse and not a bunch of dead bodies that were in the back.
That is
Well, they
correct.
may end up.
Someone else could have done the bodies. Ask him if he gets stopped only once, or something like that.
Does the citation say anything about bodies?
You look down below and it says please see us urgently, right? Just down at the bottom. Please see us urgently. We need to discuss the contents of these, of your, of your
Did they
barrels.
have any training to identify that it's off? Did they? How can?
Oh yeah, we'll come by right away to claim our dead bodies. Yeah.
Like, this horse is the property of Maury's brother or something.
Oh no! We can do later. So, okay, when we come back in town, we're going to. If we get in any issue, we're going to have this horse stand by the person that we want to get arrested in our place. Dave is going to say, go stand by that guy so he gets arrested. But we'll worry about that later. We can always dye the horse's mane or make him look a little bit different. Like
Give him my glasses.
You got to give him the disguise kit, the Groucho Marx.
Groucho Marx glasses.
But that's neither here nor like ever. We'll deal with that later. If it comes down to that.
If it helps any, on the citation, you also see VIN number, and it just says brown horse on there, right?
Okay.
But Larry arrives, and he's like, sorry I'm so late, took him a while to run my insurance and stuff like that, and it took forever. I'm sorry. But I'm here now. Okay, what's the plan, guys? What can we do? Because I'm your main man. I got this. I'm your main horse. How can I help?
Main horse.
So Mikage still had kept her barrel with her. She rolled it down the street or whatnot. She has that with her. So Mikage puts the barrels in the in Larry's cart and just says, "Okay, just bring it a little further for us. Just don't have to carry it anymore."
Okay. So what do you want to do with Larry and the cart?
So he was probably going to accompany us a little bit further until we get somewhat close, because the Chimera's tight, but we don't really want to get him
Within fire breathing range,
Okay.
you know?
So, how are we feeding the Chimera? I guess we're just going to let the Chimera go. Why is the Chimera tied up again?
Because
really-
we don't want her running through the streets. We want her safe.
and we want other people safe too. So
Yeah, other people too.
we're gonna keep
Ori is an animal enthusiast, basically.
Ori
Gonna
doesn't
let that shit
care
go.
as much about people as she does animals.
We're going to keep the horse about 40 yards from the Chimera. So when we get about 40 yards from the Chimera, Mikage is going to roll the barrel off. My plan is, as soon as the Chimera sees us, I'm going to rip the lid off the barrel and just roll it forward so that the Chimera can get that and tear into it. Because I'm sure the Chimera can either that or roll it towards her, and I'm assuming the Chimera can destroy the barrel. So
Ori's gonna go pet her. We got a bond.
I want to feed her first.
Yes, Ori is going to go feed her, and also give her some pets while she is eating.
Dave might have to vibe. Pan, what are you doing?
I don't actually know what I should be doing here. I'm kind of
you-
at a loss.
Are you gonna?
I'm down to help out.
Help
But I'm
feed
just standing
the
there
Chimera.
looking confused. Yeah, I'm gonna help Dave feed the Chimera. Is Dave still doing it? 'Cause yes.
We're all
We're all doing it.
No, Dave's not the one. You're just okay. Yeah, I'm down to help out in any way possible. I have
Do
no
you have
particular
levitate?
attachment. Do I have what?
Levitate.
I do. I have everything right now. I got
If you
everything.
have levitate, then I can use my firebolt to give her a nice sear on the edges. Feed her some nicely seared parts of whatever Mikage bought.
So Pan is gonna levitate the barrel. I'm gonna take the lid off the barrel. Pan's gonna levitate the barrel over next to the Chimera, or Chimera Grande, and you're gonna dump out the contents in front of the Chimera, and Ori's gonna be roasting it as it falls down, so we don't hit the.
So here's my mental image. My mental image is we come up kind of tableside guacamole style, and the barrel sits one piece at a time so as to give a full entertainment effect. Pan will levitate a piece of meat. I will artfully fillet, Pan sear whatever she needs it to be, and then Pan will levitate it into her mouth so she may enjoy this little treat.
This sounds more like hibachi,
Sure.
right? I think.
Well, let's just throw that shit over there.
A nice hibachi dinner.
Right. That's what
You
I'm
know, we
thinking.
want to make it nice for Chimeriana Grande.
Okay. All right. That sounds good.
All right, you do that. I'm gonna just throw a piece of raw meat at her and chill on the sidelines and just keep an eye out. I'll go hang out with Larry after once we start feeding the Chimera.
I was gonna say you should probably watch the horse, make sure he doesn't freak out and run away.
You make your way through the forest back towards where you left Chimeriana Grande, right? I'm gonna go back to the guard base just so you can see, have a reference. You're making your way, so the guards at this point, they are scattered. They're no longer there. You've made your way through the forest, and you arrive to where you had, I think she was caged, if I remember correctly, right? She was in a cage or something, some type of enclosure.
She was like chained down, tied down,
She was chained down.
or at least to a tree.
Yeah. You approach it cautiously, expecting to hear a sound. However, it is noticeably quiet.
Don't you tell me that Chimeriana Grande was taken. Don't you tell me this, Kenneth.
You look down at the ground. You see the chain that you had to hold to restrain her, to shackle her. You see it's been torn. It's basically been ripped. And you see her footprint just kind of, and you see some footprints just kind of walk off into the distance.
Well, we're following her. Let's get a move on, people.
Hey, Dave, can you tell Larry to go back
Use your
to
eagle eyes.
Red?
Where is she?
Tell Larry what to go back.
Yeah, go back. Well, or we tell him here, like, and we'll come back for him later, I guess, because I don't want another ticket.
Yeah, Larry was
he's
here.
made though.
Well, we could also just ride in the cart. Might get us there quicker.
I mean,
Okay,
if you can
but I mean-
track those
so,
eagle eyes, then that's fine. But we do what we need to do to get her back.
I probably need to track her. Let's see.
I mean, are we following? I mean, what's the plan? Are we just gonna tie her down again?
We're gonna feed her.
Well, she's a chimera. She's feeding herself.
Well, we have to give her a home. That's
But-
either be with your clan or Mikage's village.
So
I don't know
the
if you understand.
original plan was because we thought we were going to my village first, but because we're gonna not go there for another couple of days, the plan was originally to bring her down to the end because we have a very thick forest at the base of the mountain, and very few people travel through. Now, my village is a lot of like ranger types because where we live is very remote and we have to be very self-sufficient and very well-rounded. So a lot of the kids, even though they would go down, we go down to the forest to hunt and do other things. My village is very much aware of how to handle monstrosities and how to handle different types of animals. So even the little kids, as long as you let them know that there's a chimera in the general area, they'll be like, okay, sweet, now we know. But so we were just going to let her roam and be free down there, at least for the meantime. But that was the original plan.
So
Now that
proximity-wise,
off-
keep in mind, sorry to cut you off, Megan. Proximity-wise, keep in mind, if Cyan is in the middle, right? And then your village is down to the southwest,
yeah.
right? And then Dave's is towards the northeast. I want to make sure I'm doing this right for you guys. Or northeast. Then the base where you guys had more or less kept Chimeriana Grande is closer towards Dave's Barbarian clan. So kind of in that direction, towards the northeast as well too. Okay.
So it's heading in the direction of Dave's clan.
I'm just saying it's in between. It's somewhere in between. So where Dave's clan is, and then where Dave's clan is that you know of, and the city, the guard base was somewhere in that towards that general direction, towards the northeast, northeast, whatever, something like that, right? North.
So we would have
Southeast.
traveled south around the outskirts of the city and headed south to my village. But that was the original plan. But depending on which way Grande is going, if she's going more north to the village, then we may just want to follow her tracks since it's in the general direction of Dave's clan anyway. But if we can't track her, or if she's going like completely different direction, then we may want to just rethink of what we're doing.
Would anybody like to start tracking her? There we go.
Like to what?
You want to try and track her? That might be a good idea to figure out where she's going. Ori, would you like to try? Okay, go ahead, Ori. Give me a. And I like that Ori, the sorcerer, is doing this, not anybody else. Let's go with.
Gotta do everything myself here.
Let's go with.
Wouldn't I be the one tracking her since I should have?
Y'all are all standing around.
You all are all standing talking about what you're gonna do,
I need to
and I'm asking who wants to do
put my
something.
best friend back. I'm gonna start hunting. I'm gonna start tracking. Do I roll for animal handling?
No, let's do a nature check. Let's do nature.
All right.
Let's do a nature check, or a test if we want to do the whole one D&D thing.
Oh, I want her to like sniff the wind and like lick her finger.
Oh, look at that.
and
Our bond
Okay.
is so strong.
So tell me what that looks like, Ori. You are a sorcerer by trade. You have been raised in the city, and yet at the same time, too, something about it. So tell me what this looks like. How are you able to track Chimeriana Grande? What are you
So
doing?
Ori is coming back to when she would spend time with her friends out in the general mall area, and she's remembering, if one girl runs down that way, there's going to be a small little uh, track in the crowd of people where you can see where her friend has run off to. So Ori sees the similarities in the foliage. At least that's what she's telling herself as she walks, and she thinks she sees footprints, so she's gonna continue that way. Um, and I guess she's right, at least a little bit. She's gonna tell herself, "I'm gonna do this. I feel this bond. It's pulling me forward." Um, how's she doing on that? Well,
You start following the footprints, you start looking, and you start to see branches, trees that have broken, right? There are twigs, and more or less, you see a hole kind of through the forest of just rampage of about the things about the size of a chimera. That if it was just walking through, it would be breaking these trees and bushes and things like that, leading you more northeast. Does anybody want to do anything else at this point?
more
Uh,
northeast, as
I'll
in.
use my eagle eyes to just look ahead and, I mean, through the clearing of trees and see if there's, you know, any sign.
Give me a perception check, Dave. You're able to look ahead, and following Ori's cue, you start to see this path start to wind through the forest, matching of just again broken trees and brambles and branches and twigs and rocks kind of being pushed aside or so. And towards the very distance, at the distance of your sight, you look and you see what appears to be an object that is not from the forest. It appears to be man-made. Something's there. You can see it. You can't quite put your eye. Can't figure out what it is quite yet, but it is a distance away. Like about. I think you're about a mile. Is it a mile or 100 feet? I forget. I'm sorry. What does your eagle eye say? It is. Oh, where is that at? 100 feet away from you or so. Yeah. So at the very outskirt, about 100 feet away, you see something that is not of the force.
100 feet?
Mm-hmm.
That's fairly close.
Is it a mile? Oh no, I'm sorry. It's a mile. I apologize. I misread that. You gain the eyesight of an eagle. You can see up to 1 mile with no difficulty. It's the other one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So it's a mile away, and it's just an object, but it's in the path of the Chimera.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, I relay this information. I'm like, maybe it's a trap for them, for her, for Chimeriana Grande. I don't know.
Then let's go save her. Onward, friends.
Okay.
Yeah.
You make your way through the forest as you're following the path. Let me ask real fast also. Pan, what are you doing in all this?
I'm just following along, and I'm about to think out loud, saying, does this dangerous chimera really need saving? Are those people who set the trap like...
I'm also with this because, we've killed many a chimera. I don't
But
know
not
what
one that we've named. Okay?
it's very
Listen,
irrational.
whoever doesn't want to go with me to find her and at least get her out of a trap, y'all can get out or fight me.
I'm gonna go warn my tribe, I guess, which we are already on the way to it. So
Yeah, I don't want them to hurt her. Or her hurt them, whatever. But Ori's family right now is not in a great place, as you'll have seen. She needs this, okay? Let her have this.
So Mikage's in there, and I'm like, okay.
But yeah, I do want to make my thoughts said out loud. I'm like, does this chimera need saving? Are we really worried about the chimera?
Yes. That's Ori's answer. Yes.
Mikage just shrugs.
See, she's with me.
So forward
Mikage-
ho, is that right? Still keep on going, or you guys?
Yes.
Split. Because obviously, I would think Dave and Pan at this point would probably start on their way to Dave's village, and Mikage is going to follow Ori because she is while she is feisty, she is not the strongest of the group, and does not want to come back to a pile of Ori on the floor. So I think at this point, Mikage is just going to be like, all right, I'll catch up. As soon as I drag Ori, as soon as we can convince Ori, I'll drag her ass over to Dave's village. But this
Listen,
may
we're going in the same general direction. Why
Well,
not?
but that's part of the question. Is this more to the? So I'm southwest. He's northeast, right? Or is he?
And she's going towards the village, right?
She's going
Or the
towards the
clan?
barbarian clan.
Yeah, we're already on
Yeah,
the
so
way.
go that general direction anyway.
Might as well track her down in the meantime.
Okay, I'm willing to walk along the direction, but I'm not trying to risk my life for these fools that are going to get eaten by a chimera, or the chimera that's going to get eaten by some fools setting a trap for them.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So Mikage just continues to roll the barrel along, since we didn't get to open it. So she's barrel along with her.
I like that.
Yeah.
Is Larry still with you guys too?
Oh wait, let's tell Larry to come with us. So okay, Mikage chumps the barrel in the back, and so who's riding with Larry?
I'll ride with Larry.
Are all of our horses here, or are we just...
No, just like
Okay. I mean, we've got a cart. We can all get on.
remember
Ori,
the two wheel.
For the first several minutes, Ori's like, I'm walking ahead with the horse. And then she's like, maybe I'll ride the horse instead.
Larry at first is excited about going, but then afterwards, once you guys start piling on the cart, he was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! Wait a minute! I thought I was just pulling this like was it these hotties? Like, what are you talking about? Like, why is everybody hopping on my cart now? Like, I gotta work harder now? What is this?"
Mikage's used to trailing through the woods and tracking, so she's just gonna follow alongside. Besides, between her and Dave, it would be like too hard for the one horse to pull.
Ori's riding the horse, not on the carriage.
I mean, he did carry a pile of dead bodies, so like we're at least... I imagine was more than 2 or 3, so... Like,
Yeah, I was imagining myself riding the
I mean,
horse.
but you are also a Dragonborn, so you're a little heavier, probably, and I'm there.
Okay, so somebody's riding on the cart. I imagine that only one person can ride in the cart. One person can ride in the horse. Mikage is walking in the woods. Cool. Out of the 3 of you remaining, how do you guys want to go about this?
I was on the horse. She was walking and decided to get on later. I was already on the horse.
I'll walk the horse and just make conversation.
Okay, I'll ride in the cart.
Okay. As Larry's walking, he's like, "Dave, I gotta thank you, buddy. I don't think I could have pulled you in the cart. I'm sorry."
Yeah, don't worry about it, man.
He's like, I think that's all muscle, right? You look like a pretty big dude. I think you're pretty heavy, but it's all muscle. I believe you. So
Okay, well.
you make your way through. You get up to that point as you're walking through the forest. You get up to that point where, Dave, you saw that item. Okay, it now becomes crystal clear to you. It is a broken great axe. You see the axe head itself kind of stuck in the ground. The handle is sticking out, but at the same time, too, it's been broken in half. It is severely damaged.
Okay.
What do y'all do?
Well, I'll investigate the great axe and just see if there's any, like, how it's broken, what's around it.
As you look at it and you investigate, you immediately recognize it has the markings, the craftsmanship of your barbarian clan.
Okay.
So this is like not like a trap.
Say that again, Dave?
It's not bloody or anything. It's just a broken axe.
There's a stain of blood on it, yes.
Okay.
But it is still broken, yes, but it's a stain of blood on it.
All right. Well, we're close, I guess. Maybe, you know, does the you know, carving of the tree line continue on from this point, or does it just abruptly stop at this bloodied axe?
It continues onward. You can still see it kind of move through. But go ahead and give a, let's see, what do I want to ask on this? Well, since you're looking at it, go ahead and give me a nature check too. Okay. You can see the one, the path that you are following, it's still pretty crystal clear, moving in a certain direction. But aside from that, you can't tell anything different aside from, just the broken branches and trees that you've already noticed going forward.
Okay. All right. Well, we got an axe.
An axe.
Should we continue onwards? I mean, we can look around here, but I feel like maybe. I mean, maybe is it an axe meant for chopping, or is it an axe meant for? Because these are broken trees, and not like chopped down trees, right?
This is a great axe, mind you. So this is something that you use for battle usually,
Or murder.
or murder.
All right. Well, should we? I'll look around. I'll investigate around and see if there's anything else.
Go ahead, give me another perception check then.
Nice.
With your, as you look about, you start to hear something in the distance, right? And kind of as your vision is focusing on a certain part, you can kind of see smoke in the distance. I think I said that twice already. You can see smoke far off in the distance, and it is. It's not billowing, but more so, it looks like there's a campfire over that way, and it follows kind of the same path that you guys have already been going.
Okay. I say, that's probably them. I tell everybody that's probably them. So let's
go give him a warm welcome or greeting and ask how you're feeling.
Okay. As everybody's going, so I guess describe again too. Are you guys still same marching orders? Mikage, you still in the woods, or are you still on the cart? Right? Pan on the horse, Pan on Larry, and Dave on foot.
Yep.
Okay. You start making your way through the forest, pushing aside the branches as you're going through. The closer and closer you get towards the smoke that you saw in the distance, Dave, you start to hear more snarls. There's a quieting of the forest in terms of creatures, but at the same time too, you're hearing loud growls, and there's a certain smell of let's call it smoke and char in the air right now as you're getting closer.
It sounds eaten Chimeriana Grande.
It's like cooking.
I think also chimeras breathe fire, so
Yeah,
It
but
could be the village on fire.
Well, let's just find out first. Let's not assume.
okay, we'll find out first if Ori will be committing mass murder or not. We'll
Leave
see.
it a couple people alive because we probably need to talk to them.
I'll wait until they give us some information before the murder.
Okay, fair enough. Mikage's staying.
Like rubbing my belly. Always wanted to try Chimera.
You push your way through the forest. The ground now is starting to be a bit darker. The trees are starting to be a bit more scorched, and there are more dead trees and felled trunks and whatnot. And afterwards, as you make the clearing, you look before you, and you see. I'm going to activate it. There you go. Everybody can see this?
4 chimeras.
More chimeras.
You can see
Okay.
before you a clearing of dead bones around. It looks like an encampment, right? 4 chimeras are going about. They are ripping to pieces dead bodies all about.
Oh, so it took a
Well,
turn for the worst.
All
I was
right.
gonna say Chimeriana's probably safe, so I'm okay with this.
Okay. Question.
Mhm.
Can we see if any of them look like Chimera Grande, however we pronounce her name?
Chimeriana Grande. You see one. It's basically this one over here. If you guys can see me hovering over my mouse, that has similar features to Chimeriana Grande. She is slowly approaching what appears to be a moving. There's a person trying to hide amongst the bones and trying to scamper around. And Chimeriana Grande, or the creature that looks like Chimeriana Grande, is shifting around, trying to smell and sniff at the ground, and scratch at the bones, and trying to get closer and closer to this.
And we're aware that that person is trying to hide.
Yes, you can see that person trying to hide. So let me put you guys. I'll put you guys on the map. Let me do that.
Yeah. Where are we in regards to this?
Yeah. So you guys are over. Boop. I'm gonna poop you guys into the scene. Feel free to move yourself about too. I'll let y'all do that. Okay. All right. The other ones are currently engaged with whatever they're feasting on. They've got a couple dead bodies that they are just like ripping the pieces, shredding them and just devouring the flesh. The other 3 are pretty busy doing so.
We're here to, number 1, figure out like what shady stuff the barbarians are up to, and number 2, get the sword, right? So I guess if there's no barbarians around, unless they've got documents, we should. I could just like eagle eye look for the sword.
I was gonna say, what does that figure look like? What can we see about
Yeah,
them?
do we want to help them?
Or just like, do we recognize them? Question mark.
You look over Dave, and that figure is dressed in garb that is typical of your barbarian tribe.
We gotta help. We gotta help Dave. We gotta help your people out.
Okay. Well.
Hey, Ori, you want to go see if the Chimera Grande?
Your
Yep.
good friend, Chimeriana.
Yep, I will. Can I use my small stature to sneak through the bones and get a better look at the chimera and individual who is hanging out over there?
I want you to roll stealth, but I'll let you do it at advantage because the chimeras are occupied at this time, and you are small in stature, so yes.
Wonderful. Stealth. Wait, I'm gonna roll that twice because I didn't roll it.
Oh, it's a good thing you rolled that.
I'll take the 13.
Yep. Okay, you're able to make your way through. I guess describe what that looks like as you're.
So what I'm seeing is like rocks and scrubby brush and dirt, right? Is that this? Okay. So, I think crouching down, Ori's probably 3 feet. So, hiding in the shrubs and then, darting to a big pile of bones, crouching behind that and then kind of back and forth until, I don't know, maybe I get to like these areas.
Okay.
Chilling behind over there. What do I see now?
Before I tell you that, what is Larry doing? Like, what do you guys want? I mean, I guess, what are you doing to Larry? Because, Pan, you're still riding on top of him.
I was, but I'll just hitch him. I'll hitch him over here somewhere before we get into the clearing. Be like, you stay here, buddy. You don't even have to hitch him. Dave can just tell him.
Yeah, we should not bring a tasty horse into
It'd
a
be
cabin.
like, just stay back here and run. if
we
you
tell
need
you.
to.
Yeah, I relay that information to him. I say, stay right here just because we might need you, and we feed you and stuff. So, stay here, but yeah, get ready to run if need be.
Larry just looks at you kind of nervously. He's like, you don't have to tell me to run. I got this. If one of you guys even just like takes another step forward, I'm out of here. Okay, I'm gone. Don't worry about it. I'm protecting numero uno over here, and I'm out.
Okay, gotcha.
Hey, Kenneth, quick question. I noticed that
Mhm.
I have something that says exhaustion level 1, disadvantages on ability checks.
Oh yes, you should have that cleared now because you did that before when you were rushing to try and catch you were able to catch up with the tabaxi, and so you expended a point to get it. But you've taken a long rest, so I think you should be good now on that. Okay.
I didn't realize. Okay,
No,
so I
no,
got it.
you are
Got it.
good. Thank you for reminding me to clear that up. That's good. Okay, so Larry is understandably nervous. He's ready to hightail it out of there. Or as you make it closer, you look and you observe the chimera, and you do recognize that it is the one that is trying to claw at this barbarian. That it is in fact Chimeriana Grande.
Oh, wonderful. And can I see the barbarian any more clearly?
Oh, what's your distance to him? Let's see. Just curious. About 30 feet. Okay, cool.
I'll army crawl, next to her. Just
Okay.
try to keep as low of a profile as possible.
I'm going to trail a little bit back. I'm going to keep, like, if I need to fire an arrow at the other chimera, like right here, if I can.
Okay.
I'm gonna
go
full
ahead.
immersion. I'm gonna put on some barbarian clothes and like lay down roll around like a dead body in full stealth.
Bring some meat with you.
For the other three, you guys go. If you could just roll a stealth check, but do it with advantage because again, everybody's all the chimeras are preoccupied.
So,
Let's see.
I'm gonna use a lucky there. Just
I still have the barrel of meat with me.
You still have the barrel of meat with you, so you're carrying it. Okay, all right. So Pan, you've got a 15. Dave, okay, Mikage, where's your Mikage? I think
I'm
he's
so
one of the
sorry,
ones.
Dave.
And then Dave, you have a 5. Okay. Did you want to use a lucky?
I
He
did
did.
use a lucky,
That
and
was-
I got 3.
Oh,
I don't want to use. I mean, I could use another.
Don't
lucky,
use
but
another.
nah, it's okay.
Yeah, that's my last lucky for the day.
Okay. So Pan and Mikage, you are fine. You have gone undetected. You don't hear any rustling. However, Dave, as you're going through, you manage, as your army crawling over, you manage to accidentally crawl over a large bone that just snaps. He hears it, and all of a sudden, this one over here kind of turns its attention, starts looking over your direction. Chimeriana Grande at the same time too, she is busy trying to get to this one, but then at the same time too, she turns and she looks in your direction as well. And now she is approaching ever so slowly. This one as well is kind of like coming around the corner of the rocks and is also kind of approaching your direction slowly.
Okay, so I would like to use my mage hand to pick up whatever piece of grody bone and meat is nearest to this little non-Chimeriana Grande and try to like chuck it the other way, distract her
Okay.
or him.
So let's do, what is mage hand? Let's make sure. You can do that within feet. All right, 30 feet. So that's good. That's perfect. Okay. Let's
He's
do
good.
Go ahead and give me a deception check. Let's do that.
All right.
And I
can
guess
do that.
Pan also at the same time too. Tell me what you're doing because this one is coming close and you're right there as well. So it's approaching you closer too.
Yo, I'm like in barbarian clothes,
Mhm.
smeared in the blood, lying down like next to a pile of bodies. I'm like full immersion into this hiding business. Right here in this pile of rocks or bones. So I'm just there.
So you're gonna continue playing dead, right?
I'm gonna play dead.
I,
You're gonna play
I'm
pop.
gonna try to just vibe with monstrosity and try to like make the connection of we were the people who helped you, to Chimeriana Grande.
To the
Please
Chimera
tell your
Grande one,
friends-
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Please tell your friends not to eat us. We actually came to help you. We followed your track.
We love you.
Okay.
And you killed all our people, Dave's people.
You did.
Well, we
you
don't
did,
know this is all of.
I'm not gonna mention
all of
that.
that. Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
So at this point, the one who was heading over, who's not Chimeriana Grande, is distracted by the thrown bone and starts going to investigate that instead. So it starts heading over. Come on now. There you go. Starts moving away from your direction, right? However, Chimeriana Grande, after now vibing with Dave, she starts approaching closer as well now to you. Come on. There we go. However, that vibe you feel, Dave, is not of hostility. It's not quite neutral. It's kind of like positive neutral, but she's like, oh, hey, dude, I remember you. What's up? You know? Kind of approaching a little bit closer, so kind of heading your direction. She's not hostile. The other chimeras right now currently occupied, still busy, eating away at whatever their,
Hey,
their
Pan, can
praise.
you get this barrel of meat over to her and like present it at her feet? So I just pop the lid open.
I would like to start searing her some nice snackies. Dave and Pan, after you
Need
do
to
that,
cook.
huh?
Does she really need to cook? We may not want to get more attention.
I can sear it very small right here in my little hands.
Oh, sweet summer child.
Smell of cooked roasting meat. They're all gonna turn around
is it
and
gonna
look.
penetrate the other smells around here? Probably not. But it's gonna taste nice for her.
We're gonna get eaten.
Y'all go find the other barbarian. I'll feed Chimeriana.
We have to get behind Chimeriana Grande with the barbarian.
Exactly. So let me go up to her and give her some meat, and then
Okay, so just to
Yeah.
confirm, this will be the last thing I'll do, and I'll tell you what happens, and then we'll call it. But tell me again. So, do you want to start feeding her? Is that right? So you're gonna levitate the food. Pan, is that right? You're gonna start levitating the barrel,
Yep.
and then or you're gonna start roasting the food hibachi style for Chimera Grande. Is that right?
I would like to.
Okay, all right, got it.
But then Mikage and Dave should work on gonna go talk to the other barbarian.
Yeah.
So describe what
like-
this. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dave.
Hopefully, when we can, now that I'm vibed with her, and I could get up and just walk over and so the other chimeras know that I'm not a threat. Just walk right by her and maybe pet her.
Okay.
You can definitely pet Chimeriana.
Okay. Yeah, I'll pet her.
Before you do that, so describe, I guess, okay, so the food is, the barrel is above, it is now dropping food, or you are roasting it, right? I guess describe what that looks like. Real
A
fast.
gentle roast.
A gentle roast.
Just a light flame.
Mhm.
One singular one.
One-
You know.
One piece, that's it? Is that one piece or multiple pieces?
Well, see, what I was thinking of is that we would just have the barrel on the ground, and Pan would levitate a piece in front of me, and I would sear it, and then we would send it up to her mouth, like
But I-
tableside guacamole.
But I don't think his levitate works like that. It doesn't.
Mine does. I'll do it alone.
You might have to do the mage hand multiple times. That
That's
might.
okay. It's a cantrip. It's unlimited. I can do this.
Mine's like an actual spell. It's
I
like,
do also have the actual spell levitate, which is different. But I can use Mage Hand because the stakes are not going to be more than 10 pounds each.
Yeah. So we need to get the barrel
Okay.
over. Rather
then I
not.
will not use my levitate. I'm still
Yeah,
hiding.
no.
So you're not using your levitate, is that right? Okay.
Let
No,
me do
I'm not.
this.
Okay, so Ori is casting Mage Hand and then also Fire Bolt or Fire something, right? To roast these, to pan sear these things and send them over. Okay. You see one piece head over, as lightly roasted, sent over to Chimeriana Grande. She smells the food, and immediately she's gobbling it up. But as you do, you see that flame, the smoke kind of sizzles out, and you see the other chimeras start to sniff. They all start turning their attention, all directed towards you guys now. And now they are all slowly approaching you. Drool is dripping down their mouth. You can see their mouth watering. They are all heading closer and closer towards your direction now.
I guess come get y'all smokies.
I'm going to call it right there. It is 10:56. So there we go. All right. That was interesting.
Roasting meat by predators.
Oh, that was funny. Okay.
This
was fun. Okay, let's do a quick retro, and then we'll talk about, I guess, what you guys want to do next, because we're gonna have to figure out plans, because this, obviously schedules is gonna be, we're not gonna be able to play together for the next month or so. So let's do a quick retro, and this time I'll just make it open ended. Just let y'all guys just say whatever you want. You can follow the normal format of like, love, learn, lack, or you can just say something, whatever you want. Okay. So I will start off.
I like.
Oh, go ahead.
Our casual sessions because they're funny. Like it's like very light, like comfy, and I enjoy it. That was, just something I was thinking.
I feel that.
I like that we. I'm sorry. Continue.
I like the just how the session unfolded with starting off with something serious and then goofing off and then finding something serious again, but it just sort of seemed very serendipitous and fun.
Yes, I like how at the beginning we had lots of angst, and then it went on very detailed. Kenneth, you have learned that feeding the chimera is most definitely going to take more than half of an entire session. And it's interesting how we're putting all this stuff on it. So sorry guys, my B about the cooking stuff. But I just wanted to be nice to Chimeriana Grande.
We're in the middle of a massacre, honey.
I feel like we're gonna die. We're all gonna die.
We're gonna die.
Ori has had a rough time with family ties recently. She is looking at that chimera like, listen, you're my last tie to this world.
Mikage is going to next time, but Mikage, if she can, is going to tell you next session, start feeding these other bitches because she does not want to get eaten.
I was going to say, hibachi table is meant for many. It's a big family. We have one barrel, but everyone gets a little snacky.
Pray one, we have enough meat. Pray two, they're all neutral-ish. And you can have a chimera army.
I know that at least if we feed them and make them not hungry, they will not actively attack us immediately. I'll say active and immediate. It might take them a minute, is what I'm saying.
I'm going to let you test out that theory. Like, Mikage has lived this long without putting her, but in front of a bunch of predators. At least this many in one sitting.
I understand. This is Ori is very aware that this is her responsibility to deal with.
I don't say your responsibility, but you are definitely at fault for all the camera's attention.
Yeah, it's our responsibility. It's your.
It's one of those, like, if y'all ran off and left it to her, she'd get it. She would understand. There would be no hard feelings. She does appreciate the fact that you have stayed this long. and knows that, this is her B, and she owes y'all one. A long night at the next tavern.
Plus 3 at least additional. We signed up for 1, got 4.
Yeah, you signed up for 1 and you got 4, so we're gonna go have a long night at a tavern after this.
On Ori's tab.
On Ori's tab, of course.
Anyway, let's survive the next session.
Megan, did you want to add anything on top of it? I thought everybody said something.
Really enjoyed it. I am a little bit sad that but it is, it's been a long day. I'm a little bit sad we'll not finish out this particular, but it's probably going to be at least another 2-3 hour event to deal with these chimeras. So she's not surprised. But otherwise loved it, loved the family drama. We did get some information out of the brother, and it was nice that we didn't have to actively seek him out, because otherwise I think we would have been much longer in the city. So at least we're killing a couple of birds as we go about this. Metaphorically. Ori would not be pleased if we killed a bird. Other than dinner.
Awesome.
He's cool with fried chicken.
Very cool. Thank you, guys. And anything lacking that anybody wanted more of or less of? Just open-ended. If you're like, oh, wish we had this or didn't have that.
I like this. Ori's learning the consequences of her actions.
No, she's not. She's
No,
not.
she's not. I mean, she's not learning. She's seeing the consequences of her actions. Will she repeat this in the future? Most likely. But at least she gets to observe and be a part of consequences. I do, on my work laptop, literally have the sticker, well, if it isn't the consequences of my own actions. Ori takes that to heart.
Like, I can't say I'm trying my hardest not to wear a smug face like I knew this was a bad idea, but Pan is definitely wearing that smug face of, I can't say I'm surprised this happened.
Yeah.
Ori knows this, and she's actively ignoring it.
Like, Ori's getting like death daggers in the back, like looks from all of us as we've cut this scene, and just kind of like, if this were like the end of an episode, that's we're just looking death daggers at Ori.
Everyone just, and Ori going, oops.
Well, I like that everybody recognizes that and acknowledges it too, so that's fine.
Ori as well.
Okay. So thank you for everybody who's going to be listening to this in the future, and look forward to the next one.
Your mic cut out.
Oh, sorry. Damn, I was doing so good this whole time. Okay. So one more time, thank you for anybody who's listening to this in the future, and hopefully you'll enjoy the next one. So thank you, and see you next time.